let's talk budget first. I don't mind telling you that it literally made me dizzy as a new member of Congress to come in and watch this unfold. I've been there 3.5 months. We have had 4 votes on shutdowns in 3.5 months. This is terrible, right? There is no good decision when you're faced with a continuing resolution to keep the government open for 3 weeks or to shut down. Both of those are really bad choices. So you go with the least worst, right? And so your question really is, well, how do we avoid getting here? Which is the magical question, because that's more important than how did you vote. It's like, how do you go back upstream? And the reason I felt a little unsatisfied with my vote was fine. I voted against it, but that didn't really change anything, right? So how do we change something? I would tell you this. We use a term called regular order. And we have gotten off regular order in Congress many times. And that's, to me, fundamentally the problem. The House of Representatives will be very clear that last November, even before November, it was last early fall, they passed 12 appropriations in the House, and we sent them over to the Senate. That's what we're supposed to do. 12 appropriations means all of you get to look at 12 separate budgets, not everything just massed into one. You can see, yes, we're increasing military funding, but we've held the line on all these, right? You can see all of that. Send them over to the Senate. They didn't debate them. They didn't vote on them. And so that starts the shutdown conundrum. Does that make sense? Now, actually, the House gets very frustrated. I had an experience yesterday where I went to Salt Lake City. Senator Crapo came to speak, and I had a chance to hear him speak. And I heard it from the Senate side. They feel, according to Senator Crapo, that there is so much resistance right now to President Trump's nominations that they could spend every single moment of their working business day and still not get his appointees appointed. And that's pushing out tons and tons of business. Now, clearly, this should have risen to a level of priority, right, where they did it. The 60-vote rule is problematic. But what we needed in the House was, even if you were going to radically change our 12 appropriations, we still needed you to do it and send it back. And that's where the process stopped. So that is the most critical thing, is figuring out how to get the two bodies to act. And I will tell you, I believe that the answer to that is accountability. This last week, I had an opportunity to travel. It was really fun. Steve Scalise, remember Steve? He was the one that was shot. He invited me to go out to an oil rig 100 miles off the coast of Louisiana, and part of my energy assignment. One of the representatives was there, had voted for the omnibus bill. I saw firsthand him get the crap beat out of him by his constituents. And he was getting calls, he was getting emails, he was being interviewed by the radio. And he turned to me at the end of the trip and he said, you know what, that may be the single worst vote of my career. And that's accountability, right? And so we need that when people make votes like that to get them to do what they're supposed to do.